Quit staring at my face for more than 5 seconds, coach. Time to get you all jazzed up! Ouch! Ow!
I have one rule for Samsung phones, and I'm about to break it. I pretty much never use aftermarket or non-original screens on Samsung phones. Why? Well, you're about to find out. Open it up. So this guy just wants his data back, but he also wants to be able to use the phone in the future. The S10 screen is very expensive to replace, so he wanted an alternative. An alternative to which I highly suggested he doesn't go with, but he did, so I'll show you how bad this is. Unscrew. Now we're gonna transfer everything over from here to here. I haven't used these in a long time. Maybe they got better? Let's see if this is as bad as I remember. We'll boot it on. The touch sensitivity is garbage, the chins are massive, and what the hell's going on with the front camera? I have one rule for Samsung phones, and I'm
has no sponsor giving you headphones. They try and I tell them no. I don't want to wear a headset. I like the earbuds. I'm like, stop sending me headsets. I'm not gonna wear them.
Oh.
Am I an asshole? I could get wireless earbuds, but I just don't want to wear a headset. I just don't like them. Imagine Emma with a headset.
Such a contrast from where we just were. Nobody here.
They think it's like another country.
How old do you think I am?
The last 11 years on her birthday, she skydived.
A lot of old school values still out here.
So it's your family's town. Best beach I've had in years. Just a simpler life. It is for some, not for others. Oh, wow.
There's a December of 44.
We'd be in Chicago, but Chicago runs the whole state.
Compton's sister city over here. These towns keep on giving.
Life is not worth thinking negative thoughts.
Most of the United States people are very nice. It's just you don't always see it portrayed that way in the media.
Good morning, guys. Here in beautiful downtown Chicago. But today's video is not about Chicago. It's about 2 hours outside of the city, the countryside, a completely different world. So today we're gonna go on a road trip, get lost on some back roads, meet the locals, hear what they have to say, and learn a thing or two. Let's do this. Instead of tall buildings, we have tall corn. About an hour and a half outside of Chicago, and check out the names of these towns out here. We have Sandwich, Sublet, Pawpaw, Buda, Norway, Earlville, Love, Palmyra. It's a Syrian city. Let's check this out. Peaches. Could go for a nice peach right now. Look at this. Nobody here. And this is what's so cool about the countryside. That trust, right? Just come on my property, grab some food, leave some money.
Armament check. I'll be called.
Hear that owl? The birds. Don't know if I'll finish these today. Best peach I've had in years.
Soldier FA.
That is homegrown for sure. You can't bring these peaches in your car. They'll be all over the place.
Soldier.
We got the hammock right there under the tree. Endless corn for a lifetime. Big skies out here. Just a simpler life. It is for some, not for others. I like both, actually, I gotta say. I like the urban environment. I like the country environment. Lately, more nature, though. Just seeing all this greenery. Downtown Sandwich. Nice little town. But I think we can do better, guys, because Sandwich is off a main road. And when you start getting out here, you can see the big urban sprawl of Chicago. We finally got out of it. There are places like Rollo here. Let's check that out. Does it have streets? A couple. Okay, so we got a few streets there. Oh, there's Pawpaw. Get on these back roads. Hopefully meet some farmers. That's the goal. A lot of them, I bet, haven't even been to Chicago. I bet there's some people out here, the further you go, maybe they've been there once or twice in their lives, but it's just like this beast on the periphery of their lives. Two different worlds, very dependent on each other. You gotta love Rollo. The biggest structure is the grain silo.
Leave everything to me.
There's a sign that says it's for sale.
Come on, my
What do you do with this?
You're rather tenacious, though.
It's interesting, just a couple houses with a nice church. There used to be a general store over there, and then this was a town, right? Rollo. So who lives in the town now?
Really like you.
Just me and my wife and son and
Trying to finish.
So it's your family's town. How's that?
I love it. It's quieter now.
Little different than Chicago, huh?
I shall grant you victory.
You guys go there much, Chicago, or no?
I don't like them big towns.
All right, I'm gonna check out the church. Is it okay if I check out the church? Is it your church?
Probably locked up.
How many people go to this church here?
Yeah, a few, probably 50 a week.
50 a week. Okay. Take care. Thank you. This is interesting. So on the map, it looks like a little town, but it's basically this family's property, built in 1913. Some nice stained glass in there. It's on the National Register of Historical Places.
I knew you couldn't do it without me.
Oh, that looks so cool in there. Oh, too bad. Oh, we got Compton on the west side. How about that? The Berg, West Brooklyn. These towns keep on giving. Let's check those places out.
If you take this around, it's Shabner Road. This is Chicago Road and goes out to Pawpaw.
What's out? Any restaurants there?
I don't know if the bar is open anymore or not,
Okay.
but there's the Beaver Den is in Pawpaw.
Oh, cool. So everyone farms out here? What is everyone doing out here?
I don't know. It was a bunch of traffic coming through here lately, but I'm coming back from a farm sale.
Okay.
Yesterday, and I farm and I drive truck full time, but I farm part time.
So all the corn I'm seeing out here, are these massive corporations that own this or smaller farms?
No, just small farms, family farms.
That's
They
cool.
they're between 500 and 2,500 acres right around here. The only big, massive corporate farms that you might see is there's one about 4 miles north of my house.
And you guys holding on to that, or are the corporates coming in?
We're holding on pretty good.
Cool.
Those guys, the only reason why he's corporate, he went belly up 4 times. So now So then a big company had to come in and take them over because they owed so much money to them.
So the mom and pops are hanging on out here.
Yeah.
Is it a livable career out here?
Yeah, it's pretty easy to. I make a pretty good living at it, so.
Good for you.
Yeah.
How's trucking these days?
I'm busy all the time. I'm always gone. I travel all the Midwest, and I haul farm machinery. Not like this, but bigger.
So what do you feel about the country when you're out in the country and then you come back to where you live?
Well, that's like where I live, and where I go. Everyone's about the same. We're all get to easy going. We don't.
Low stress out here.
Yeah,
huh?
there's nothing too concerned about us, and we just hang out, drink beer, hang out. When I was driving truck full time for my dad, I was going to Chicago 4 days a week because there's a mill in there that's 100 years old, and they haven't moved it yet. So we go in 2 times a day, and then I would go in at midnight and get a load of feed to come out to feed cows with. So,
What do you think about Chicago?
it's just not. I don't like going
It's
there
not
at
your
all.
thing.
Chicago runs Illinois. That's the way everyone out here says.
It's the engine of the state.
Yeah.
But you guys feed Chicago.
Yeah, we feed Chicago, but Chicago runs the whole state. Springfield might be the capital of Illinois, but Chicago is. That's where J.B. Pritzker's all the time.
So it's really 2 different worlds right next to each other.
Yeah. I've met people that lived in Chicago all their life, never knew there was a farm out here.
Seriously.
Yeah.
This is beautiful. I'm in Chicago. I'm making videos on Chicago,
Yep.
and I thought, all right, that's one perspective of Illinois. I want to get out into the countryside because it's totally different. I know it.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful, man. The ancestry out here in northern Illinois, is it Scots? Is it Swedes? What is it?
It's everyone. So I'm Norwegian. We're 7th generation farmer Norwegian. There's some Germans around here, and there's a lot of Irish around here too. If you drive around, you might see farms that have Century Farm plaques on their farms, and so they've been there a full century.
Oh, that's what that means.
Same families lived on that farm for a full century.
So this corn, is this going into Doritos potato chips, or where's this corn ending up?
So this corn mostly ends up either going to the Illinois River and gets shipped on a barge down the river, gets loaded on a container ship and goes overseas.
Where's it go overseas? Asia or Europe?
Both. It depends on who wants it the most.
So we have in the United States, we have a food surplus right now?
Yeah, we always have a food surplus. One farmer feeds 350 people in America now.
So there's a lot of you guys.
Yeah, well, we're smaller and smaller. I think we're down to 2 million farmers in the U.S. right now.
Okay, out of 330 mil.
Yes. The government's got us pushing so hard with the DEF on our tractors.
On the what? The what on your chart?
The DEF.
What's that?
The diesel exhaust fluid. And like, what was it, 20 years or 10 years that we're supposed to go all electric. Well, for us to do electric out here on the farm, those electric tractors would have to be able to last 12 hours in one field, just working ground. Well, you could do it, but now you're talking, you gotta stop, or the tractor's gotta have twice the amount of batteries as a diesel tank to keep us running. You look at the telephone poles, those telephone poles have been there for 40 years. Now you're gonna wanna run everything off electricity. Who's gonna come out and fix those telephone poles? If we have a major snowstorm or whatnot, and we gotta plow snow, and we have electric plow trucks, and the plow trucks aren't charged because batteries died overnight because it got too cold.
So do you guys worry about this?
Yeah, we worry about this all the time. It's a major concern about going electric out here in the country. Electricity is nice, don't get me wrong, but you're never going to replace it on the diesel engine or the gas engine because there's so much demand for oil and gas, and you can't just replace it with electricity overnight.
An individual rented this truck behind me and OD'd on fentanyl and crashed the vehicle. You can see the damage on it. It took 8 shots of Narcan. These seats will not budge. You're working in a very confined space, and then you're struggling with these seat covers. Hey guys, Laura here. I am in Tampa, Florida at the site of a fentanyl overdose that went terribly wrong. So an individual rented this truck behind me and OD'd on fentanyl and crashed the vehicle. You can see the damage on it. And it took 8 shots of Narcan to revive him, but I am told that he did live. But we are here to clean up the fentanyl, neutralize it to make it safe for the body shop workers to handle this project. So stay tuned.
I'm seeing personal contents, pawn shop receipts, parts of the vehicle, the rental agreement, and some miscellaneous.
Got probably about 25 more bags of trash to bring out before we pack up the rest of the kitchen. And we're gonna tackle the fridge. Probably one of the worst fridges I've ever seen, to be honest.
Do you ever wonder what happens when the police leave? Crime scene cleaners are private companies that handle the cleanup after the police are gone. Spalding Decon is one of the nation's largest cleanup companies, handling the aftermath of homicides, suicides, decompositions, hoarding, and much more. These are our stories.
Is it too easy for you right now? You should never let your guard down. What's the purpose of overclock, you say?
We filled up 2 dumpsters. Luckily, we have 2 empty dumpsters to work with today. Got probably about 25 more bags of trash to bring out before we pack up the rest of the kitchen. And we're gonna tackle the fridge. And yeah, then next week it's cleaning. All the deep stuff. Yeah, we pack up the rest of the kitchen. And we're gonna tackle the fridge. And yeah, then next week it's cleaning. All the deep stuff.
Martin.
Do you want to be a crime scene cleaner just like us? Well, now you can. Spalding Decon is currently opening up enrollment to our bio-basic courses on thinkific.com. Click the link in our bio and head on over to thinkific/spaldingdecon.com and use promo code CLEAN for 10% off your order. Now back to the video.
I don't know.
Do they think you can sell this for that much?
Yeah.
I'll give you my full attention.
guys. So today at the house, well, we finished clearing out the garage. This morning, the second garbage finally came. So we're about 90% of the way filled just with the stuff from the garbage. Hopefully, if everything works out, should be our final day here.
What's this? 2020. Hold on, stop. 2020. Took out the trash once.
We don't get to choose. Wow, you're going to give this a try? How interesting. When the sun goes down, all the cats come out to play. You're wasting your time. Render all a sudden.
Yeah, I don't know.
A commendable battle, but I desire stronger opponents next time.
Tackled the fridge now, and we've come to realize this thing is so full and already stuck to the rest of the kitchen that probably just gonna have to take out the whole thing, not even try to clear out the fridge, just take the whole thing out and just carry it out of here. cream cheese. Oh. Ah.
Hold it, sorry, hold it, no, hold it. 20 seconds.
I feel low for you. It's not real. Don't even look at it. Just look at the ground, grab it.
Uh, I don't know what that is.
Spit soup.
That was good, actually. Doesn't say. Oh, there we go. That's tasty. What's that? Chicken? Steak. Good steak. Barbecue chicken steak? Whatever. This is what. What?
I'm a better hunter now. I'll try and get stronger so I can protect you. I'm the strongest.
Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified of the next episode.
For more
Basically, this was the mattress of the first bedroom. That's just the underneath part. The underneath is rust, where it's just been sitting. She said she didn't know what basically this secretion comes from, but on the way out she said it came from cat urine. So I decided to take that because she did want to keep it, but I was like, I don't think that's best for you.
So this is the white balls that we soaked up all the cat feces and urine that was in here. That was sedimented to the bottom. We let it soak in the cleaner, and yeah.
Is it just like pretty shallow, or is it?
Yeah. It's about that deep. Got a hand.
Front of the stove had a lot of nasty gunk up and leaks. So, had some Comet in the truck, used it, and it worked great. Using some crazy chemicals, and you got some Comet right here. So.
Yeah.
This half is clean, except for the dishes. I put the dirty dishes in here. This side, however, you can shine a light down there.
Do you want to be a crime scene cleaner just like us? Well, now you can. Spalding Decon is currently opening up enrollment to our porter. Now back to the video.
You'll be able to. It's completely full down there. Just garbage or whatever, and so that's not draining.
Is there a garbage disposal?
There is, but I'm scared to try.
So this is the underside of the mattress. As you can see that all the bio has seeped through the foam, and just colonies of mold have just been growing in this mattress for the past month, as it's just been sitting here subjected to rain and heat.
Alright guys, so this is the bottom side of that mattress. This is that blue covering that's on this hospital mattress. It's kind of a special foam one. So this is the bottom side. You can see where the kind of the grills were. I call it the grills, like it's a stove or something, or an oven. You can see the fat, and it's literally like it looks like hair, kind of, because it's the mold spores. So that yellow is also that adipose, that fat, all that stuff, all that decomp that's on there, as well as the mold that's been growing because of the moisture in here, because it's been allowed to continue to decompose with.
But you're just gonna have to be scooping it out. So it's gonna be buckets and scooping it out. I'm actually worried about what we're gonna find underneath there. Something's alive. I'm not sure exactly what that is. I don't know. See, I'm worried that there's somebody in there. That's that deep. That's a lot. I think we might either just bring a shop back. Just get a big shop back, and we'll end up having to throw it out. I think that might be easier. Look here. That's also full of soup. It was her mother's place, and then she got it after her mother.
Definitely, I'm banking on there being something dead in that tub, for sure. Either a house pet, mouse, snake, something. There's no telling, but there's no way there's not. So we'll see what comes of that.
All right, give us 1 sec.
Do what now?
Give us 1 second.
What are you pulling out?
Body. Just kidding.
Way better than scooping it with buckets. We don't have to use any poop buckets.
This is nasty.
Believe it or not, it is poop. And we were pulling trash bags out of the bathtub that was filled to the top so the sump pump guy can come in and clear it all out. And we dropped one of the bags and just nicked my foot and got all over my other gloves. I couldn't do it. I had to get out of there.
And just the whole thing, unfortunately, I don't think these things are salvageable is the problem. And they're still completely backed up. I'm not exactly sure. We could certainly try some of the products we have, but it's at best a 50-50, really say, especially this tub.
That was better than us having to put our arms in it, that's for darn sure.
Is the scalp still there? Open it up. I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Baby, when you're done, those gloves have to go in the bio ring because you press with the other one.
Appreciate it.
What is that?
I think it's the hair roots.
What is that?
It's like a nest.
It is a nest. Hold on, hold it. Oh, good God. Something made its... What? Those are maggots.
Those aren't maggots.
What the f?
Why they left that?
Like this is like...
What is it? What does it feel like?
Crunchy.
Describe it.
What is that? There's a nest of bugs.
They're nests. There's
bugs
inside. Look at them inside.
Look on the hand.
Crack one open.
Those remind me of like TT flies.
No, you know what this is? These are flesh-eating bugs.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Where they like burrow into the skin.
Yep.
That's what those are.
Is it alive?
No.
But there's one on there walking around right there. That's exactly what those are.
No, that's a fly.
There's a dead fly.
That is a nest. See? It's a nest of maggots.
I'm glad you're safe.
Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm from Indianapolis.
And this is her first job, and it is a doozy. What do you think?
It's a duty.
Yeah. The most unique thing about this job is normally we would be doing straight demo. We're actually asked to clean something that literally cannot be cleaned. So we're essentially just cleaning a top layer of
quite literally,
because the bottom layer is already soaked into the subfloor, which is composite MDF wood.
Literally parts of it are wavy because the pea has just completely soaked in,
and it's like buckling.
Yeah, it's not repairable really.
So how would you describe the smell?
Exactly what you would think, like a litter box that's gone too far, except for it's the whole house.
Yeah, it's definitely compounded. Like the ammonia will your eyes will water on the ammonia. Thank God. Thank the gods for respirators. So I just got to say thank God for respirator. But this is a frustrating job just because we're not allowed to do a comprehensive cleanup, which would include a lot of demo. There is a mattress just absolutely saturated with, and we're told to leave it there because it's comfortable. So it's like, oh my God, this is just, and you know, it's been a long time since I've like dry heaved, but when I watched her like just scoop up the liquid diarrhea, I was like, oh, it was like I don't know.
I mean, I'm smelling it right now, and I'm just thinking about being hands and knees like I was a few minutes ago. And yeah, I mean, obviously I was too dirty to stay in one, so. Oh, it's just. It's an experience for sure.
This is, you know, like it'll look better when we're done, but it's not even close to what our normal capabilities are because we're not being allowed to do it. So lipstick on a pig was literally, that phrase was literally meant for this. But the only thing that could save this place is a match.
Yeah, or a bulldozer.
Bulldozer.
Even then.
Just the waft that's coming out of the house, which is over there, is making me like.
I'm about to throw it myself.
Yeah. It's intense. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe.
If you're an Android enthusiast, then you've most likely heard of or used Lawnchair in the past. I've been using it for years now, and to me, it's most known for giving users the pixel-like aesthetic while also adding over a ton of features in deep customization options in a way that I really wish Google would bring to their stock Pixel devices. Recently, the latest Lawnchair 14 build received a pretty big update from alpha to beta, and since there are a ton of you on the channel that love Android customization, I figured this would be a perfect time to give a quick update on what's new, talk about some upcoming features, and discuss some of the best additions that I think Google should shamelessly steal for their own Pixel launcher. Before we get into it, of course, you should consider subscribing to the 9to5 Google YouTube channel. Here, we're constantly talking about Google, Android, and all things related. So if you want to stay in the know, definitely subscribe because we have a ton of content in the pipeline that I really don't want you to miss out on. First, let's talk about the new additions in this latest Lawnchair update, as there are a ton that really impressed me to say the least. Probably my favorite feature by far has to be Smart Spacer integration, which basically takes Google's at-a-glance home screen widget and makes it way more powerful. There's a lot it offers, but on a basic level, you can install individual plugins to show new tidbits of data, like previews of Google Keep Notes, Google Finance stats, Google Wallet loyalty cards, or Health Connect data, plus a ton more. But you can also install plugins for third-party apps like Uber, Amazon, and Yahoo Sports. If you choose to install the Smart Spacer add-on, there is a whole plugin story with previews on what each one does, and you have individual settings per plugin to tweak the changes even further. Something cool is that you can have multiple plugins active at once and can easily cycle through them by swiping horizontally on the at-a-glance widget, which is so convenient as I can choose what information is relevant to me as the day goes on without any hassle. Taking things a step further, those changes to at-a-glance can also transfer over to the lock screen and can be tweaked separately from the home screen widget if need be. Not to mention, tapping on a customized panel will open the connected widget in their own separate overlay for easy access. To me, this brings at-a-glance to the next level, and honestly, I'm surprised Google has not implemented their own version like this considering how good of an idea it is. But I'm getting ahead of myself here, as Lawnchair 14 includes many more useful features like a global search that expands on the stock Pixel offering. Not only can you search within your apps, search history, contacts, and more, but Lawnchair amps it up by including Android system settings, locally stored files, and includes quick access to another new addition called Start Page. Start Page is a private search engine that doesn't track searches or collect data for those that are uneasy using Google Search as their default option, which is great. The Lawnchair team does say Start Page should provide similar results to a traditional search engine, so it's a good alternative if you feel it's necessary. Otherwise, you have the ability to turn it off completely.
While PvP is dying,
Understood. Battle engaged. Is this the right way?
Welcome back to another video by yours truly, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be talking about Aventurine's kit now that it's been revealed with more specifics. They've also revealed his signature light cone in full. So we're going to go over that, address the pros and cons of each things so that you guys have a more profound understanding with regards to how his kit functions. So let's get into it. All right, so let's go ahead and start off with his traces, make it very digestible for you guys. For every 100 of Aventurine's defense that exceeds a certain value, increases on crit rate up to a maximum limit. Now, they don't provide the numerical values. They always wait to the last minute in case they want to change up something, nerf or buff it, last chance before it goes live. In case you don't know this fun fact, once Hoyo drops a character, they will not change the character's kit ever again. They only give like indirect buffs through extension of other units that come out or like light cones and so on and so forth. So that's why they always wait until the last minute if they want to make any changes. Anyways, with that being said, the way this first trace works is pretty much strive to give him like 35 to 4,000 defense, same as you would do with like a Chapard, and you're gonna have a fat amount of crit rate given to you for free 99, like just built in to his kit. They reward you for building him with defense. Think Jing Liu. You know why everybody loves Jing Liu? Because when you pop Jing Liu's ult and go into it, she gets 48% crit value for freaking free, or 50% if you crown her a trace entirely. So 50% crit rate is given to Jing Liu for absolutely free just for going into her ultimate. Venturine, it's the same line of concept, except it's rewarding you for building defense on them. So hopefully that makes sense. Why, by the way, if you take that just very simple explanation into concept, that means you can build a crit damage body on him instead of a crit rate body, providing him with more crit damage, massive amounts of crit damage. Or if you're going for the sustainable side of things, you can put a defensive body on him instead of a crit rate. So keep that in mind. Moving on to the second one. When battle starts, grants all allies a fortified wager shield. Grants them a shield, whose shield effect is going to be equal to a certain percentage of the one provided by the skill, lasting for a certain number of turns. What they pretty much just told you is that when you go into battle and there's an Aventurine on your team, you get a free shield proc, period, from his skill. Like, you just get a skill shield for completely free to your whole entire party. So that's massive because that means going into battle, you can open up with an auto attack instead of having to activate his shield to protect your party. So you start off with good skill point positivity going into battle, which is nice. Moving on to Bingo. This one's quite lengthy and intricate. I'm gonna try my best to explain it as best as I can. After an ally with fortified wager, Aventurine shield, launches a follow-up attack, Aventurine accumulates 1 blind bet point. This is important before we even go any further. It's telling you that you can't build blind bet points unless an ally launches a follow-up attack with his shield on. They have to have the shield on, his shield in particular. So this means that keeping up shields, like the uptime of Aventurine's fortified wager shield, is going to be very important to building blind bet points, because if they just follow up attack but they don't have his shield on, he's not going to get the blind bet point. This means you're gonna have to micromanage Aventurine's shield on the party. Now, granted, he's gonna do a fantastic job at keeping them shields up, but there will be some scenarios where you're going up against some enemies that are hitting like trucks, and you might have to manually cast Aventurine's skill, which is gonna butcher your skill point of positivity in that scenario, just to ensure that he's building up these blind bet points and triggering his follow-up passive. Hopefully that makes sense, because it is important. People can overlook this and think, oh, he's very skill point positive. Well, he is until you have to recast that shield so that he's stacking his blind bet points up. Now, this effect can trigger up to a certain number of times. Means it has a cap to how many blind bet points you can build. But it resets at the start of Aventurine's turn. So you trigger 3 follow-up attacks with Topaz, Aventurine, and Dr. Ratio, right? Let's say it's a 3-stack cap. That means you get 3 blind bet points from triggering those 3 follow-up attacks. If you were to trigger another one, it's not going to give him more until his turn comes up again. Hopefully that makes sense. I'm telling you, this shit is intricate, so I'm trying my best to explain it. After Aventurine launches his talent's follow-up attack, right? So you fill up the blind bet stacks. Boom, now he's gonna make it rain. Follow-up attack on everyone on the field or at random. It's gonna provide all allies with a fortified wager that can block a certain amount of damage. So you get another shield that's stackable with the shield that's already on your party. And additionally, it's gonna grant a more shield that can block a certain amount of damage to the ally with the lowest shield effect, lasting for a certain number of turns. It lasts a long time, just know that. But basically, it's telling you you need a lot of shields, and he's going to provide those shields for you. However, there are some intricate details in there that I mentioned that you do need to take note of. So again, I said that was long-winded. Hopefully it made sense, because that shit was not easy to explain. Moving on, if you want to stop here and look at the leveling materials and the things required, go ahead and do so. But we're gonna move on. His technique is going to be the most cringe thing to RNG play around with, because you're obviously going to try and go for the maximum defense value, right? Let's go ahead and talk about it real quick. Okay, so when you use this technique, you randomly obtain one effect from 3 types of defense boost effects. Repeated use of this technique results in the retention of the effect with the highest value. It's literally Gamba. Gamba at its finest, Gambarine. When the next battle starts, increase all allies' defense by the corresponding value, lasting for a certain number of turns. So I like that it gives everyone this defensive value increase, because if a DPS comes out down the line that scales with defense, you're gonna automatically think, oh, Aventurine, 100%, right? But the other thing that's cool about it is that that defensive value is gonna add to your sustainability as a team on top of him providing shields. I actually do wonder if that defense does increase the tenacity of his shield and durability of his shield as well, but I'm not sure on that. All in all, you're gonna be rolling this to try and get the highest value. It's gonna be a lot of Gamba, bro, especially if you're trying to do like meta runs with a sustainer or clear times with a sustainer like Aventurine. It's gonna be a lot of re-rolls and resets trying to get that maximum defense value, because that's gonna also directly tie into increasing his defense. But it also lasts for a certain number of turns, which is kind of unfortunate. It'd be nice if it was just like given to you for the entirety of the fight as opposed to a number of turns, especially considering the RNG. It's a bit of a negative. Moving on to his basic attack, it just deals damage based off of his defense. His entire kit deals damage based off of his defense. Going on to his talent, for any single ally with fortified wager, their effect resistance is going to increase. And when they get attacked, Aventurine gains blind bet. So every ally with fortified wager, not only do they have a thick ass shield on, they also have a massive amount of effect resistance, making it very hard to be crowd controlled by the enemy. And then when they get hit while that shield is on them, it gives him a blind bet stack, which I told y'all about that earlier. Proceeding on, when Aventurine has fortified wager, he can resist crowd control debuffs. I would hope so, as a sustainer doing all that. This effect can trigger again after a certain number of turns. Aventurine additionally gains blind bet after getting attacked. So if Aventurine gets attacked and your enemies are getting attacked, he's gonna get blind bet stacks, which is nice. But the